Each new day, every sunrise inspires new ideas, new perspectives, and offers an invitation. Outside is waiting for you. It's waiting to show you your true self. It's waiting to prove to you that you can push yourself harder, you can play harder, and you can pause long enough to feel your heart beating. For 26 years, we've dedicated ourselves to helping people get the most out of the outside and out of themselves. During that time, we've improved performance, comfort, design, and durability, all with the goal of getting people outside. We believe that being outside energizes life. It allows us to think, create, and discover, and it inspires us to push ourselves. Over the years, we've done a lot of pushing. We've pushed technical and material development, we've pushed product design, and we've pushed our thinking, quite often outside the established boundaries, and we've invested heavily to make our exploration and thinking a reality. When we created our new running line, we invested in people, we invested in equipment, and we invested in process in order to design products that stood out in the category and build on our outdoor experience. When we started to design, we worked from the outside in, based on the conditions and the terrain. Then we improved the running shoe inside out, with better fit, better materials, and better technology for better results. Each step, each incremental shift, each change in conditions brought new perspectives and inspired better products that perform, come rain, come shine, or come occasional swarm of black flies. We know that for a runner, apparel is more than just apparel, and shoes are more than just shoes. They're crucial to a good run. One more thing we know, it's not just about having a good run, it's about having a better run.
In the running industry, we find that everybody is doing the same thing.
You've got little carbon copies, and there's a lot of brand parity. Everyone's so close to each other, they're afraid to sort of take the next step. So we looked at the stability category, we looked at what all the brands were doing there. There's a common way of construction, but it's not the best way. It's done because it's the most cost-effective. So we decided if we're going to go at this, we're going to go at it right, and we're sort of making a more efficient, more well-engineered piece. And so I think what the opportunity was for a brand to bring something fresh. Being that we're an outdoor brand and running such an outdoor activity, it made sense to sort of start thinking of it that way. And the biggest thing, sort of the biggest hole in running was the technology, I think, in the upper is a big deal. Not a lot of technology is done in an upper. They're all done in the sole unit. So I think the best approach to take was a little bit more of a simplistic approach, and to look at the common ways that the products are constructed today and look at ways of making that better. A lot of the reasons why companies that have tried to tap into running have failed is with their fit. They don't have a pure understanding of the type of fit that needs to happen. And so consequently, brands like outdoor brands or apparel brands, they don't pay a lot of attention to the last. And that's the ultimate, performance part of a running shoe is the fit. I had a relationship with Jones & Vining, so I called him up and said, hey, we're starting a running program, we need to start with the last. So he comes and brings all his stuff. I mean, Jones & Vining has a huge database of footwear information that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, they've been making lasts and collecting information on feet for years and years and years. Most lasts are flat in the back for manufacturing processes, so they can press, but your foot isn't flat, it's round. But factories don't like round bottoms because it's hard to center it on there. Basically, we made it round and said, you guys got to do it right because we need to make this more anatomically correct. So our last is actually, it mimics the heel a lot better. If our shoes fit, that's all that matters.
How we're constructing this a little bit differently is that we're molding these densities separately and then putting them together.
By making them separate, you can see we can control the shape, the angle, and the exact placement of this to create a much more smooth and functional part. When you look at what our competition is doing, they'll also have a second density on the medial side, But if you were to cross-section them, you'd see that that second density only comes in a very small area, and it's straight up and down. Our second density is a lot bigger, and it's at a lot more gradual angle. By removing, extra parts and breaking down walls and engineering it better, it's just the obvious is to run better. And some of the things that the outdoor industry has brought to the table, moisture management, water management, heat control, climate control, antimicrobial, all that stuff has a place in athletics. I mean, you sweat just as much running as you do hiking, but yet none of the athletic brands are taking that into consideration. One of the most interesting pieces we've worked with is an air mesh package, which are two layers of mesh with hydrophilic and hydrophobic fibers. So the one that's close to your body is hydrophobic, so it pushes water away and spreads it out. The hydrophilic attracts the water, and that's on the top layer, and that actually pulls it away from the body through to the top layer where it can evaporate. So it's this sort of phase-changing material that in one state, when it's dry, it's nice and breathable and flexible like anyone else's air mesh. But when you start sweating into it or it gets wet, it starts moving the water, moving the moisture, which, when you talk to outdoor people about it, they're like, yeah, no kidding. When you talk to athletic people about it, they're like, wow, that's really cool, maybe we should try something like that. The thing that the outdoor industry brings to the table that the athletic industry doesn't consider is environmentally friendly. I mean, being an outdoor company, it's part of the platform of who we are. Using recycled materials has no effect on the performance nature of the product at all. The materials are just as good as if they were brand new. There are some companies that we've teamed up to and we're working with in the synthetic world that have made significant investments in making their products better and cleaner for the environment. I mean, the best thing that could happen is if we launch our shoes and everyone starts doing eco and moisture management. I mean, essentially, we'll have a platform that everyone else is following us on. That'd be great. People ask me, like, why Merrell? Like, why should I buy Merrell? There's Pelizumi, there's Montrose, everybody. Why Merrell? I'm buying Asics, I'm buying Brooks, I'm buying really, quality and heritage brands. And my whole philosophy to them has been, hey, look, running is an outdoor activity. We're an outdoor brand. We have as much claim to running as anyone else. Running on pavement or running in the woods, wherever you're running, it's an athletic activity. So to be an athletic outdoor brand, I think it's a perfect position for who we are and moving forward, who we can become. It's not just about having a good run, it's about having a better run.